Breaking news right now. Legendary TSU women's track coach Ed Temple has passed away. During his career, Temple famously led the university's Tiger Bells to 27 Olympic medals. It's unprecedented. News Channel 5's Sophie Nielsen-Colding joins us live from TSU now. And Sophie, are we learning more now about how he passed away?
Well, according to TSU, his daughter, Temple's daughter, told the university that he died last night after battling an illness. And here at TSU, there are many memories, ways to remember him. I'm standing in front of the Edward S. Temple track, and there's a plaque at a different place on campus listing all of his accomplishments. We know that Temple was the TSU's women's track coach from 1953 to 1994. That's 41 years. What a career. He led more than 40 athletes to the Olympics, and his athletes won more than 30 national titles. Temple was also head coach of the U.S. Olympic women's track and field teams for 2 games in the 1960s. He was assistant coach in 1980. Temple coached a lot of greats like Wilma Rudolph, who was considered the fastest female in the world in the 1960s. And perhaps most notable, Temple accomplished all of this during a time where racism was part of everyday life in the U.S. TSU sent out a statement very early this morning, their president saying the TSU family has truly lost a precious gem and contributor to the history and legacy that is TSU. Ed Temple was 89 years old when he passed away last night. Lots of reminders of him. There's even an Ed Temple Boulevard in Nashville, so certainly a man who will be greatly missed. Reporting live in Nashville, Sophie Nielsen-Colding, News Channel 5.
All right, Sophie, thank you. Also, Metro Police are investigating 2 back-to-back armed robberies just minutes apart in South Nashville. Let's check in with News Channel 5. Alexander Cohen, she joins us now from the market. So what have we learned from police so far?
Amy, we know that one clerk was injured. Police say it's by this suspect wearing a black hoodie. Let me put this into perspective and show you where these other incidents occurred. This Thompson Lane Food Mart, it was hit, and then there was also this one on Nolensville Pike where we are located. Again, this is an ongoing investigation. Police are still looking for more information. According to officers, they were called to the scene around 11:15 Thursday night. The individual was wearing an orange mask. Officers on scene said after stabbing the clerk, the suspect left without taking anything. The clerk described the suspect as a female wearing a black hoodie, about 6 feet tall. Police say within an hour, they believe the same suspect targeted the MSM market at the Phillips 66 in the 200 block of Thompson Lane. The suspect there was wearing a black hooded sweatshirt with orange accents on it with a hood up. Police say they had an orange mask or bandana to hide their face. Again, this is where that clerk was stabbed in the head. She was taken to Southern Hills. According to police, she is going to be okay. And about 2 minutes from here, there's an M-Mart that was actually the scene of an attempted armed robbery yesterday. The clerk was able to get behind a bulletproof barrier and call police. But right now, they haven't connected the 3 armed robberies. If you have any information, you can always call Crime Stoppers. Reporting live in Nashville, Alexander Cohen, News Channel 5.
Alexander, thank you. We are continuing to follow breaking news out of Antioch, where a car slammed into a barbecue restaurant. This is a look at the Witt's Barbecue at the corner of Haywood Lane and Antioch Pike. At least one person was taken to the hospital. Not clear about the injuries right now or what may have caused that crash. Also breaking from overnight, a Clarksville teen is shot multiple times and then rushed to Vanderbilt Medical Center. Police raced to a home on Harrier Court last night around 9 after the 18-year-old showed up at the house with 2 gunshot wounds. We're told the victim was conscious but reluctant to tell the detectives what happened. We're working to get an update on his condition right now. If you know what happened, call Crime Stoppers 931-645-TIPS. And new information about a dramatic SWAT situation we followed all night. 2 people are behind bars after a long standoff in the 400 block of Wellington Square. Started around 6 last night when the victim told police her son and his girlfriend assaulted her and then damaged her car. Police tried to get the suspects to surrender, but both of them, one armed with a sword, refused to come out. After hours of negotiations, the SWAT team entered the home and arrested them shortly after 1 this morning. No one was hurt. An East Tennessee man goes on a shooting spree at work and now 3 people are dead. It happened yesterday afternoon in Athens. Police say the shooter opened fire with a semi-automatic pistol, killing 2 people before turning the gun on himself. The gunman was an employee of the Thomas and Betts plant, which fabricates steel. Authorities have not yet released the identities of the shooter or the victims. A 91-year-old woman is in critical condition after a brutal home invasion near Brentwood. Happened around 10:30 yesterday morning on Edmondson Pike. The elderly woman tells police she answered her back door and the suspect punched her in the head repeatedly. The thief came across the victim's daughter and then began beating her with a mop. Both women say he was a black man in his 20s. They believed he escaped with this piece of jewelry furniture in a white or a tan SUV or van. If you know anything about this, call Crime Stoppers, 615-74-CRIME. And happening today, a mid-state judge is expected to decide whether convicted rapist Corey Beatty will be sentenced again. You may remember prosecutors asked the judge to throw out the Vanderbilt football player's 15-year punishment in favor of a longer sentence. At the center of the issue, 11 letters Judge Monty Watkins received in defense of Beatty prior to sentencing. Attorneys were angry because they weren't shown those letters until after the sentencing. Rutherford County Sheriff Robert Arnold will have another federal court hearing, this time for domestic assault. Arnold's wife claims he punched her in the arm, tried to drag her using a belt, and then threatened to make her stop breathing. The sheriff already faces charges of profiting at the sheriff's department. The sheriff goes before a federal judge on Tuesday.